brothers have been having issues with posting classes on Facebook.
Con.
Yeah, they just did stop. So I don't know what's going on.
Okay, it's saying action needed. It's not connected to the Wi-Fi. Like I try to connect it to the Wi-Fi. Open browser and connection.
I'm gonna have to find a different, because AT&T. I think it's just that AT&T. Because the bill's not due yet. So the bill's not due until next week.
And it's still acting like this. Yeah, it wasn't acting like this for a whole year though. It just started doing this stuff the last few weeks. Maybe it's poor signal in the area or something.
But last time they said it was acting like this when it got close to the bill because we went over our data. But I was like, we've been running the same thing, doing the same thing, unless someone
is needed. Your account needs immediate attention. Oh man, this thing here. Now I'm afraid to even go back live because if the thing messes up again, it's gonna drop again.
It's only the first 54 minutes of the class.
Well, that was about the time I went live. Yeah, so it got the whole thing. It's just the last 5 minutes.
Let me look on YouTube to see what's going
on. Yeah, it's still off because the internet off. I could try to use my phone to do it.
My phone, this damn cord won't even charge. I'm on about 8%. I was up there talking to Captain the Goggle Bar after I got off that. That council with my son with the
parent-teacher conference.
Parent-teacher conference, kind of the conference.
Let me try to do this. Damn, that's fucked up, man. Let me try to do this hotspot. I'm doing mobile hotspot.
You still live on YouTube?
Am I really? Oh yeah, I guess I am. It's no internet though. Look on Facebook. See if I'm live on Facebook.
So like, yeah, you're not live on Facebook, but you live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
It's saying that I shouldn't have. I said the F word. I thought it was all off because it said no internet.
Like y'all, we can just pick back up from there and tell them just. I'll just share the YouTube link like I did with my class.
Okay, Con.
That's nice, Salakia. But we are live on YouTube, Salakia.
Well, just check it. Just be checking the YouTube then.
I'm gonna just
to make sure.
On YouTube.
Okay, Con. To make sure it stay on
Twitter. We should be live from Twitter too.
Okay. This thing here. That's the second time it's done that. Let me see this thing here. Well, I just stay right here. All right. Now it ain't going. Am I still live?
You live on Twitter and YouTube.
All right, Most High Christ. So we'll just pick up where we left off.
Kind of the concept.
All right, then. That's fine. Let me go to OBS. Yeah, I'll just go to OBS.
Kind of the concept.
And just look at it from there because this ain't going to do right if I go to Restream. Well, Salakia, right, we back up. I don't know what happened. We was having technical difficulties. But what the brother was saying was absolutely right. You was talking about the George Floyd thing just now, wasn't you?
Oh, Salakia, I was talking about that oppressor Amber Guy.
Oh, yeah, Salakia, Botham John's murderer. And his brother just straight up and down went and hugged her. The father hugged her. The mother hugged her and prayed for her. The judge that was black. That's Christianity. Did they grow up in the same church, Elisha? None of them grew up in the same church. But somehow, Elisha, they all knew to hug this white woman who just murdered an innocent black man. Even though they didn't grow up in the same church. So all of you talking about
you live on
Facebook?
Facebook too.
Okay, Most High Christ. We're going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. So here we are. They didn't grow up in the same church. So all of you Negroes talking about, all the Christian churches, they ain't teach the same thing. They have to be if the judge, who's not any relation to the defendant, I'm sorry, to the what do they call it? The plaintiff. She's not any relation to Botham John's family, but she is Christian like Botham John's family.
Kind of the kind.
Raised in a different Christian church. Who's to say that they even the same denomination? They could be different denominations, Elisha, yet and still they know to love a white woman who's a murderer.
That's right.
That goes to show you that all Christianity needs to go.
That's right.
All of it needs to go. And that's the point we were making. Let me get to let me get back to, now that's the thing, I can't look at the article on there no more now. I got to do it on my phone.
Oh.
Well, you can look up on your phone.
What's the article?
Go to, it's on CNN. It's on CNN. The article I was just reading about the devil who kidnapped that sister here. Because we're going to finish that up. Let me see. Yeah, go to that article, Baba Kusha. It's on CNN. You just look up black woman escaped after being kidnapped by white man.
Kind of the kind.
And it should be on CNN. Now, I was all the way down at the middle of the passage.
According to the people, calls from TJ said escape.
Nope, I'm at Salakia.
TJ was
Tharp. Go down to Tharp. It says, Tharp says once her grandmother.
I'm right there.
Go ahead.
Kind of the kind. Tharp says once her grandmother let TJ inside, she said that Haslett had kidnapped her and killed her friends. According to KCTV, the probable cause form identifies the woman who contacted police as Lisa Cachette. Cadaver dogs? Cadaver dogs were seen searching Haslett's backyard. KMBC reports, but investigators have yet to find other missing people in the man's home. We have no further victims that we are aware of at this specific moment in time.
Now, this is after the woman that is the victim, the kidnapper, she admitted to him murdering her friends. This is after she told them, brother, you know how insane you have to be. Okay, this is once again now, we got to get out that church, all right? Because you know how insane it has to be a victim, witness something happen to your friends, and the cops still calling you a liar. Which is what the cops are saying right here when they said they sent the cadaver dogs, which dogs are not accurate. How many times did General Mahiman and the ISB have to teach you idiots that a dog that police have is no different than your dog at home? Like they're not perfect 100% of the time. Could they have missed something? Absolutely, they could have missed something. And here she is telling you, I witnessed him murder my friends. Friends is plural on there. That's not singular. So not only did he kidnap her, he kidnapped her friends too. And the cops said, well, the cadaver dogs the dogs didn't find nothing, so it's just you. Like, you understand how that must make you feel in that type of situation? Like, how do you get justice for those black girls that he murdered? Because a dog couldn't find their remains. You just gotta, the dogs couldn't find anything. So you're calling her a liar. You're saying that this white man only kidnapped her, which means what? Now, what does that mean in the court of law? They cannot charge him for murder. They cannot charge him, the devil, Timothy Haslett Jr., with murder because they didn't find remains of bodies. Did the bodies have to be in his backyard? No. He could have took the goddamn bodies back to Prospect and made it look like black men killed these girls, which is what happened so many times. There was reports out, so many over the course of the past 50 years. Now, you can look this up in the FBI's database. They keep a record of these type of things. They said that over the past 50 years, there's been white men who've preyed on black people. When I'm saying black people, when you look at articles, they don't say black people. You know what they say? At-risk youth, or they say minorities. But when they say at-risk youth or minorities, they really mean black and Hispanic and Native Indian people. And they said that black people, Hispanics, Native Indians, the children of God, that over the past 50 years, there's been white rapists, serial killers who've preyed on us and who kills us and then drop our remains or our bodies back off in the ghetto to make it look like a rival gang did it or another black person did it. Who doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about? This happens all the time. Did that devil have to hide the bodies in his goddamn backyard, underneath the backyard? No, he did not have to. He killed those black girls and more than likely put their bodies or remains back in the projects to make it seem like some black young kid did it. Some black thug. That's what they call us, thugs and gangsters. So now you got all these bodies just found in the middle of the street in the ghetto. So now who does it look like murdered these black girls? Black men, that's right. Hispanic men, because the white man is so cunning. And that's what you Christians, you're so stupid in the church. You don't even understand warfare. You don't understand warfare like the white man does. He's going to kill your daughters and then go drop their bodies off in your neighborhood that your black son is going to get charged the murder of. That's what happens all the time. And then as he goes to court, he's going to say, nah, man, I didn't kill this. This is not my body. Well, we caught you with drugs. You a criminal. You might as well take the rap for it. We know you did it, Jamal. We know you did it, Kareem. We know you did it, Malcolm. You might as well take the rap for it. We know you did it. You already, man, listen, you ain't got no hope anyway. You might as well take, don't they say the feds have a 97% conviction rate? So let's say, for argument's sake, these brothers didn't murder these bodies that they getting charged with that's in prison. They still are going to do what? They still are going to take the plea to make it seem like that they have the body on them just so they can get less time, because that's how much the devil the white man is. That's his game. Like, you don't even understand. Here you are thinking, we got to stop these brothers from pulling their pants up, all this sagging. These brothers ain't murdering people the way the white man is murdering people. These brothers in the ghetto ain't stealing white girls, putting them in a basement, and murdering and raping them. These brothers have a beef with some other brother. They settle the beef. They handle the beef. They're not going around town terrorizing the city like the white men have terrorized the earth. The problem isn't young black men that need to pull their pants up. The problem is, are you weak, jelly-back, stepping, fetching, Christian, Uncle Tom, sellout, coon niggas in the church? Big-headed niggas in the church that don't care about the love that they're the people, their own people. They don't love their own people. That's the problem. The problem is we don't have Christian. The problem is we have a Christian church that is in charge of our people. That's our problem. Not black men who sag their pants. That's, irrelevant. The problem is the church is responsible for those young black men who sag their pants. And that's really the big problem. You know what the problem with this whole thing with this young sister, which is so sad. My heart goes out to this sister. And, of course, our thoughts and prayers are for this sister and her family. You know the problem with this story is this would have never happened had we never integrated with our oppressor.
That's right.
Had we never been Christians and learned that Caesar Borgia is Jesus and learned that the white man is God and everything that is white is good, had we never learned the white supremacy through black Christianity, this sister would have known, where I see a white man, I need to run. She might not have been good at algebra. She might not have been good at physics. But she would have known that the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
You had something you wanted to say, Art?
Oh, Salaki, if I may, I don't mind. Even statistically, you can Google this. This says roughly 50% of murders in America's cities do not lead to an arrest, according to an analyst. But now I was saying a homicide with black victims remains unsolved about 49% of the time.
That's half the time.
Half the time.
Nobody cares when you die.
And then compared to, about 28% for homicide with, the oppressor victims.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's a huge gap.
What is that, 29%? 20% of the time over a span. So 50% of the time, nobody knows who killed you. But almost every time a white person gets killed, they find the murderer of that person. That's what this statistic just said.
Count of the kind.
That's a 25% gap. Like, nobody cares when we die. And we don't support Black Lives Matter in here. And we don't have to go around telling white people that black lives don't matter. The white man knows black lives don't matter. We need to convince other black people to stop being Christian so your lives will matter to one another. Because these brothers and sisters are helpless without the leadership of Commander Juniana. These brothers and sisters on the streets have no out to turn to without the ISUPK. They have no safety. They have no haven, nowhere that they can go and be safe. How is she's 22. She's a young woman, Ak.
Right.
A woman who can still have babies, can get married, have a family, be a sister and a mother to a husband and children and live a beautiful life, and her life is ruined mentally for the rest of her life because of this. Like, what are you supposed to do as a young black and Hispanic person? I would sag my pants and shoot up the block too if I didn't have Commander Juniana.
Right.
Because I'm safer in prison than I am out there on the street. Some white man could just come and steal me and nobody would know. At least if I'm in prison, everybody gonna know free Malak, free him. That's the only time you get love is going to prison. The only time you get love in the black community is when you get kidnapped. Now here black women are shaking their behinds, twerking on Instagram, wearing nothing in public, whores and prostitutes, and have turned to a life of crime themselves. And nobody says nothing, Elisha. Nobody says nothing. When Megan Thee Stallion went on Saturday Night Live, and me personally, I don't have to confess this to y'all, but me personally, I like Saturday Night Live. I like a good chuckle and a good laugh every now and again, and I like looking at Saturday Night Live. They got Megan Thee Stallion a couple weeks ago, Elisha, to be the guest on Saturday Night Live, and it just ruined it all for me. Because here she is. I wish I can play the clip for y'all on this app. Here she is on Saturday Night Live, looking just like a drag queen, acting just like a drag queen, dressed just like a drag queen, and behaving, and her mannerisms are just like a drag queen.
Right.
And that's who black women have become. With the long fake hair, with that stupid, brother, every time I see it, I want to pull it off their goddamn head. With the stupid long wigs and weave down their backs. It's not a sin, of course, to wear a wig and weave, but brother, come on, sis. You can just wear your natural hair. I don't even know if black women understand that you have hair that grows from your head, and there's no such thing as female pattern baldness. Women don't just go bald. That's not a curse that the Most High God has put on women. Alopecia is something black women get a lot because you dress with a wig on like a drag queen behaving like a whore. That's not your culture. And she's here looking like a drag queen doing all these hair mo. You know how sodomites talk? This is how black women act now, with the long nails. When I was growing up, sodomites had, the drag queens and transgenders had long nails. Now who has long nails? Black women. Sodomites had that long, fake, ugly, gay hair. Now who has that long, fake, ugly, gay hair? Black women. Sodomites used to do what, Elisha? Nobody wants to admit this. Sodomites used to do what? Go get BBLs. They used to go get breast reduction. When those sodomites wanted to be a man, stop being a man and be a woman, and look like a woman, what would they do to fake men out? They would go get BBLs. They would go get the breast augmentations. They would wear fake eyelashes, a lot of hideous makeup. A lot of you sisters look horrible with all of that caked on makeup on. You need to go to some makeup artist or makeup school so you can stop looking like a drag queen. I'm tired of sisters looking like drag queens. They talk like them. Yeah, girl, it's giving this. It's giving that. Shut up. That's how homosexual men talk, and that's how gay men behave, but that's who you've become. Now, when black women are acting like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B, nobody says anything. Nobody opens their goddamn mouth. But when they get kidnapped, all of a sudden you care about them. Where were you when they were acting and behaving in a way that makes them a prime target? Nobody in America, no white man is kidnapping those Arab women. Show me a white man that's hiding Arab women with a BBs on, whatever the goddamn things are called. They dressed and covered up with no fake nails, none of that stupid hair, none of that god-awful makeup. They ain't getting kidnapped in white men's basements. They're not victims, and they're not targets. I wonder why. Now here you are, ass out. So excuse my language. You walk into a grocery store, and the whole behind is out. No couth, no modesty, no shame. You said what?
They go to the school.
The kids, brother, come on. They go to the bus stop with nothing on in the morning time. Sisters used to have the damn robe on, covered up. Whew, these kids. Sisters out there with everything out. And they think it looks good because of you Christian lustful men who tell black women, who have sex with whores. You love whores. Black women says, well, listen, we need to be more like whores. A lot of you Christian men have sex with homosexual men who look like drag queens. And that's who black women are starting to behave like because it gets them attention. Nobody's telling them anything, Elisha. Nobody's saying nothing. Why isn't anybody saying anything before black women get kidnapped? Before North American Indian girls get kidnapped? before Hispanic girls get kidnapped. Why ain't you telling black women to shut their goddamn mouth, cover their behind, and put something on top of their head? Why aren't you telling them to stop looking like drag queens, stop behaving like drag queens, stop talking like drag queens, don't go on Saturday Night Live and embarrass your entire race like Megan Thee Stallion by acting like a black homosexual man? Nobody's going to tell them that? Well, listen, when they get kidnapped, don't be concerned then. Because the kidnapping is not the beginning. Like Jeremiah Hyman said this, and this is so heavy. Protection is something that happens before protection is something you gain before. It's not something that you're supposed to do during. So when those kids were when those elderly black people in Buffalo, New York were getting murdered, there's no protection that could happen at that time. How could they get protected when they're getting mowed down? Right. Protection is something that could have happened before that devil Peyton Grenard went up there. But nobody protected them. Nobody told them the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. No Christian church in America on this earth told black people and Hispanics and Native Indians, don't trust the oppressor. The oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. The oppressor, even though we were raised to think he was God, he is Satan and he's the devil. Even though we were raised to think that he's harmless, he is the number one animal, the number one murderer, the number one rapist, the number one thief on the entire earth. Don't go near him. Don't trust him. Don't love him. Don't marry his children. Don't give your sons to his daughters, and thou shalt not give your daughters to his sons. Why didn't the church tell black people that before destruction happened? Because the church is at fault for your destruction. The church didn't warn you that the white man was the devil. So when your daughters get kidnapped by them, blame the Christian church. When your sons are in Jeffrey Dahmer's living room and have a drill to their skull, about to get a heart eaten out of their goddamn chest, blame the Christian church. Because the church didn't warn black people to stay the hell away from their enemies. Instead, the church told you to love your enemies, to pray for them that despitefully use you, that God so loved the world, which means everybody. The church is to blame for this poor sister and her friends getting murdered and kidnapped and getting brutally raped every day. Well, if we had time, we would read this whole thing. And this sister, you reading it now, this sister was brutally raped every single day she was locked up in that dungeon, man. Every day by this oppressor. Could somebody have stopped it? Yes. If she was raised to know the white man is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of. That's right. Stay the hell away from the white man. You don't need to do anything with them. Don't love them. Don't talk to them. Don't look at them. Stay away. Don't live near them. Don't do anything with the oppressor. Don't do anything with the heathens. Love your people. Protect your people. Save your people. Teach your people. That's what the church should have been telling us. Instead, they told us to go and forgive that devil Dylan Storm Roof after he murdered those black people in South Carolina. Like, you know how insane you have to be a Christian in 2022? Here they are now, because 2 weeks away, or is it next week? Next week is voting day. And all these commercials about voting. Brother, do you know who the senator is of Missouri? Somebody look this up, Elisha. Look up the senator in Missouri, not the senator of Missouri. In Missouri, yeah, the current senator. Obviously, you have more than one. It's not just one senator. Like you have a governor, you have one governor of a state, but you have more than one senator in each state. So look up the senator here in Missouri. One of the senators here in Missouri.
We got Josh Hawley.
What is his name?
Josh Hawley.
Does he happen to be a black man, Elisha?
He's a pure-bred devil.
He's an oppressor.
He's an oppressor.
I wonder who voted for Josh Hawley. Roy Blunt. Is he a black man? I wonder who voted for Roy Blunt. Now here you are, about to vote a week away. And all these commercials, the NFL, they saying we using the stadiums to vote. Just vote. No matter who you, just vote. You're going to vote for somebody who looks like Jeffrey Dahmer. That's right. Think about how insane, like that blows my mind, Doc. Like you don't even understand how insane that is, that this devil have murdered her friends, kidnapped this sister, and raped her every day, tied her up, held her against her will, and did atrocious things to this sister for 6 weeks. And next Tuesday, you're going to go and vote for some white man or white woman who is of the same stock, of the same family, of the same race, of the same people, and of the same nation as the person, the predator who did that to your own daughter. Right. It blows my goddamn mind, Doc. You're telling black people to vote for their oppressor? Brother, we are the real Jews. Imagine a so-called Jewish white man having to tell his grandson to vote between Nazis. Like, think about that for a second. Think about some oppressor that is a so-called, he calls himself a Jewish man, and the ballot is coming up next Tuesday. And in Germany, they telling their kids, I know there are 2 Nazis, but we got to choose between the lesser of the 2 evils. Like, nobody else lives the way blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians do. Nobody else lives the way we do, Ak. Here you are, you're voting for the same man that had you in slavery. The same man who's of the same family as this devil who just kidnapped your daughter. And you're going to vote for somebody of his same race. The same enemy of your people. You see how crazy that is, Ak? That's what we're about to do in a week. That's what all of our grandmothers and Big Mama and all of the black Christian pastors are telling us to do right about now. Vote. Vote. Brother Josh Hawley. That's the devil you voted for. Roy Blunt. 2 white men who look like this devil who kidnapped our daughter. Who look like Jeffrey Dahmer. Who looks like George Washington, who murdered and raped and enslaved hundreds of black people. Who looks like Andrew Jackson, who murdered and raped and enslaved hundreds of black people. You're going to vote for somebody like that. I couldn't be a Christian. If you're wise and you smart, how are you a Christian? How could you be an educated man and black woman if be a Christian? Like, how does that work? It's white supremacy, and that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. That being a Christian, if you're black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you are practicing white supremacy. You're practicing the belief that the oppressor is better than your people, that you should love the people who are your enemies. Who are your enemies? The Bible says don't do that. And we're going to get into it right now. Give me Ecclesiasticus. Give me Salakia. Was it 12 and 4?
Ecclesiasticus.
Come on, 12. Never trust thine enemies. What's that? 12 and 4. Give me that real quick.
Come to come.
Salakia.
It's 12 and 10. It's right
12 and 10. The water.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
This is in the Bible. You understand, Christians? Y'all love Jesus in the Bible. Everything we do is the Bible. We get our beliefs, we get our tenets from the Bible. Unlike you. Do you know Christians don't get their tenets, their major tenets from the Bible? You know where they get it from? White supremacy. Who else teaches, what is it called? The Holy Trinity. Who else teaches the Holy Trinity?
Islam.
No.
Oh.
You grew up this.
Oh, Catholics.
Who are Catholics, Ak?
Oppressors.
What are they called?
Roman Catholics.
What is it called?
Roman Catholics.
It's called African Catholics?
Roman Catholics.
Arab Catholics.
Roman Catholics.
Roman Catholics, Ak. That's who also believes in the Holy Trinity, Ak. White men who killed Christ. Go figure. Guess who else teaches that heaven and hell are a place above the earth and hell is a place under the earth that you go to when you die? Who else believes that, Ak?
Roman Catholics.
Who?
Roman Catholics.
Damn. Not Africans?
Roman Catholics.
Not Arabs?
Roman Catholics.
Damn. The Romans was black people, right?
La-ah.
The Romans were white. The Romans were white people who killed Christ, who you're supposed to love in the church. Ain't that supposed to be who the whole religion is about? Jesus Christ? Well, why do you have the same beliefs, the same major tenets as the people who killed Christ? I wonder why. Maybe it's because Christianity, the Christianity we practice being black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, maybe, just maybe, it comes from the beliefs of our oppressors. And maybe that's not by coincidence. Maybe it's because you were a slave here for 400 years under the same people, under the people who look just like the Romans, who descended from the Romans. This place that we live is an extension of the Roman Empire. Maybe that's just why it is. Maybe I'm not the smartest man in Elisha, but it don't sound like a conspiracy. That show sounds like a lot of facts. Here you are, a slave, and you believe in the same thing as your slave master. And when you try to break away from it with spirituality and burning sage and moon rocks and worshiping stars, what you'll find is it's more Christianity. When you try to go to Egypt and go to Israel and Palestine and wash in what you think is the Jordan River, where some white Jewish man over there is pissing in, and you're using it to bathe and wash because it's the same place, the Jordan River, where we was all baptized. You're a nut, Doc. You don't understand the Bible. You're just a Christian. Because who else goes to Israel and Palestine? Jewish white people. Who else believes in Egyptology? Blow my mind with this one out. If anybody knows who created Egyptology, was it black people? Who would create Egyptology?
Oppressors.
White people in the 1930s. British oppressors in the 20s and 30s. You think that you're going someplace with spirituality and all of this Egyptology and conscious community. Brother, the Bible is our heritage. That's right. The Bible is our customs. The Bible is our culture. Not spirituality, not Christianity, not religion, not vain philosophies. This Bible this brother is reading out of. This Bible is for the real Jews, the real biblical Israelites, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel who are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's right. This is our customs. These are our customs and our doctrine. And what does our power and our God tell us to do?
Never trust thine enemy.
He said, do what?
Never trust thine enemy.
Our God, our power, not the God of the oppressor who murders our daughters and kidnaps our young ones, but the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who were black men. The God of Jacob, the God of Judah and of Issachar, the God of Reuben and Naphtali, the God of our black, Hispanic, and North American forefathers warned us never to trust our enemies. Don't ever trust your enemies. Why should we never trust our enemies, Elisha?
For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
I know Josh Hawley is a slick-talking white politician, but in the same state that he's the senator of, his white brother kidnaps black girls for a living. I know it seems like JFK, he was one of the good white people. If this is what blows my mind, Elisha, before I go into this scripture, what blows my mind is black people. This is how you know that black people know that the white man, subconsciously, black people know the white man is the devil because the oppressor is the devil, because we always have to find good white ones. If the whole race was so good and loving, why do you have to go and find people in that race that are good? Wouldn't all of them be good, Elisha?
You would think.
If you have to go and find a good one, that means that most of them are what? Bad. So what in the hell are you doing voting for them and loving them and praying for them if all of them are bad? You got to go find and pick out a good one, which means what? That most of them are not good. So, brother, we tell on ourselves with the stupidity that we do, white supremacy that we practice in the church when we say, JFK was a good one. That's why we put out his picture next to Martin Luther King Jr., because he was a good one. You don't put Donald Trump's picture next to, why don't you put the other 45 presidents' picture next to Martin Luther King Jr.? Because the other 44 presidents were bad.
Oh, yeah.
They were bad.
It was wicked.
Evil. Disgusting. Slave owners, rapists, drug dealers, human smugglers, kidnappers, thieves, liars. You know it. That's why you don't put him next to Martin Luther King Jr. That's right. You put JFK next to him. Why? He's a good white man. He gave us laws and he did good by us. And Abraham Lincoln, 2 white presidents out of 45 presidents are. Why ain't the other 43 up there? You know why? Because you know that the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. But your Christianity and your white supremacy won't allow you to say it. Brother, free yourself. Sister, free yourself. La raza, free yourself. El blanco hombre es el diablo en la Biblia, man. The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. God said it right here, man.
That's right.
He said, don't ever trust your oppressor. Don't ever trust your enemy. That's who our oppressor is. You mean to tell me that this devil who kidnapped this sister and her friends and murdered her, them, and raped her, that's her friend? That's her enemy. I wonder what the other 6 billion people that look like him are her enemy because they would have all done the same thing. They would have all done the same thing he did. Jeffrey Dahmer did. Here you are thinking Jeffrey Dahmer is the worst person ever. In 2022, in October, some devil is doing the same thing Jeffrey Dahmer did. The same thing John Wayne Gacy did. You know why? Because like as iron rusteth, keep going.
For like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
Here you are, you think they look good. They're good people. They're not bad. That's a good one right there. I'm sure they thought that about this. What is his name again? Don't go back and look at it. But this devil who kidnapped his sister, something Jr., that devil who I pray dies a horrible, painful death by the hands of the Most High God.
That's right.
That devil, I'm sure he looked innocent too. Jeffrey Dahmer looked like Jesus Christ if you are raised in the black Christian church. You put a pair of glasses on that white image of Jesus Christ, that looks just like Jeffrey Dahmer. So here you are thinking he looks good. But the Bible said, like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. What does that mean? Metal is going to rust. The white man is going to be a murderer.
That's right.
He's going to be a rapist. He's going to be a liar. He's going to be a thief, and there's nothing you can do to change him. So stop trying to. There's no praying. There's no amount of praying. I don't care how many of you prayer warriors. I know all you black women think y'all prayer warriors. There ain't no war in the praying and getting the devil off the white man because he is the devil. The Bible say that the wicked are estranged from the womb.
That's right.
He's born to be the devil. Let him be the devil. Here's what you're supposed to do. Never trust him.
That's right.
Because just like iron is going to rust on that car, he's going to be the devil. He's going to deceive you like all of his forefathers did. The white man deceived the North American Indian. Do you think that the white man has changed? Do you think... I know a lot of black Christians do believe the white man has changed. That's why you vote for Josh Hawley, and you vote for Donald Trump, and you vote for Joe Biden because you think that they're different than Andrew Jackson and George Washington. They're just like this devil who kidnapped this young black girl. They're just like Donald Trump. Donald Trump doesn't love black people. He hates black people, and he admits that he hates blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians. Donald Trump admitted on camera numerous amount of times, through his actions, of course, that he hates the tribes of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And here you have it. There's still black people who support Donald Trump. Did you know that, Ak? There's still black people who support Donald Trump after he called Haiti the whole country, after he called Mexicans rapists, after he called black people lazy, after Joe Biden said that he doesn't want his children to grow up in a racial jungle filled with predators. Hillary Clinton called us super predators. You know what your grandmother did and your pastor did, Elisha? They voted for Hillary Clinton, and they voted for Joe Biden, and now he's the president now. Some racist white man. Here you are thinking they're different, but just like iron rusteth, so is their wickedness. They're going to pass the 3 strikes rule for your black son. They're going to pass the stop and frisk. So why vote for them? Because you love them, because you're Christian. That's right. That's the problem with Christianity. Go ahead, Ak. You had something you wanted to say?
Kind of the concern I made, and like you just said a few seconds ago, that we prove that we know that they're devils. We know that they're oppressors, but we choose to ignore it because of Christianity.
That's right.
Because we think that God loves everybody.
Yeah, I love everybody.
We think that, the Lord doesn't see no color. Meaning, he doesn't care what nationality you are. Yeah. And then for us to go vote, what you say next week?
Next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Next Tuesday, we're going to go vote. And what do all black Christians say? All black Christians say the same thing. Well, you got to go vote.
Yeah.
You have to vote for the lesser of 2 evils.
No matter who you vote for, no matter who it is.
They're evil.
Yeah.
Because you have to vote for the lesser evil.
Yeah.
So if we call ourselves Christians in that Christian church, and, they all believe in the devil, they all believe in Satan, and they know Satan's evil.
That's right.
Well, why would you go vote for the lesser of evil when our King Christ said we should do no evil?
That's right. You're right.
I mean, but we're Christians, so
right.
I understand.
You know what that's like asking? This is what you're going to do at camp next time Jake says this or a white person says this at camp. You're going to say, well, who would you vote for? Would you vote for John Wayne Gacy or would you vote for Jeffrey Dahmer?
Right.
And what do you think their answer is going to be?
Whoever killed the less.
No, that ain't what they're going to say. What would you say? If I ask you right now.
I would say, if I was a Christian, I wouldn't vote for neither one.
Neither one. Why wouldn't you vote for neither one?
Because they're murderers.
Well, that's just like black people voting for a president.
Right.
That's like blacks and Hispanics. You're asking blacks and Hispanics to vote for some politician. You're asking us to choose between the lesser of the two evils. You're asking us to choose between child molestation or rape. Which one is worse, child molestation or rape? They're both the same. They're both evil.
That's right.
They're both a sin, just like voting is. So what in the hell am I doing voting for the lesser of two evils? You know what black Christians should do? Black Christians should give Commanding Juliana all of that money that they stolen from black people all those years and go sit down and shut up somewhere because they don't know how to lead black people. They don't know what they're doing, and their lies have caused more damage than good. The lies the church have taught black people for all of these years have caused sisters to go missing, have caused brothers to die in the hands of the police. They've done more harm than they've done good. They should go sit down somewhere and give us all of your power and your resources and your money and watch Commanding General Yohana in this school save the people that you refuse to save. Help the people. Love the people that you hated. Help the people that you refuse to help. I watched some disgusting video of some black Christian pastor. God, I wish I could play it on here. Some black Christian pastor, he was in the pulpit preaching. And he said, could you believe after church last week, somebody had the nerve to come and ask me to help them with their light bill? And he had a problem with it. And he's talking about it as if it's wrong for somebody who's poor that's giving you all of their money to do a job. They're not supposed to ask you for help. So who are they supposed to ask? You see the problem with the Christian church? And now he's going off. You don't come to your man of God and ask him to help you with your light bill. Well, damn, nigga, you did steal $800 billion from him. Who else is he supposed to ask? There's not a white man in the world that has the kind of money the black Christian church has. So who else is he supposed to ask? So you know what he's going to do? Guess what he's going to do, Elisha, because he can't turn his lights on. He's going to go sell drugs.
That's right.
And now he's going to go murder some people. He's going to sell drugs to do what? To pay for his goddamn light bill. That's $160 that the pastor has on his feet. The pastor can take his shoes off, his Balenciaga shoes off that cost $1,100, sell them for $900, and pay 10 people's light bills.
That's right.
But you know what he does? Gets offended for you even asking for help. Brother, you need to leave the Christian church.
That's right.
You need to get the hell out of the Christian church. Now, remember I told you this. Keep reading now.
Kind of the one kind. Never trust that.
Remember that the ISUPK told you to get the hell out of the Christian church since 1969.
That's right.
You can't even ask for help, Ak. You can't even ask for help. You can't go to the Christian pastor and say, Salakia, sir, I need a little Pastor Jones. I know, I ain't been coming that much, but I do come and I've been giving tithes. And I've fallen on hard times. Is it all right if I get a little help, man? If I'll pay it back. I'll work it off. But can I just get this light bill paid off for this month because I'm gonna get my lights cut off? I just need $200. Instead of the pastor saying, you know what, brother? Yeah, absolutely, man. We're gonna help you out. He tells him no. You understand? What else is he gonna? Who else can he ask? His family is poor like him. They don't have the money because we're all poor. He's gonna go sell drugs, Ak. Why wouldn't he? He can't get help the right way. So all of you black Christians who's talking about this is the reason I hate the Christian church so much and how they abuse black men. Because here you are with the power and resources to help these young brothers that would go to prison if you don't help them. This is what they don't understand now. The church is responsible for putting these brothers in jail because you didn't help them when they asked you for help. They asked you to pay their light bill. They asked you for help financially. They asked you for counsel to be a better father and to be a better husband. And you turned them away. What else are they supposed to do, Ak? They're not faggots like you have in your choirs. They're not homosexual LGBT men. Why in the world would a straight black man go to church? That's the question you should ask. So the fact that they're a straight brother with a family trying to come in there for help, you should help them. You turn them away because they can't sing like your sodomite choir director. And now you won't pay his light bill. He's going to go sell drugs and rob you. So when you in front of that white man in a city council meeting saying we need to get harder on crime, that's what black Christian pastors say. Did you know that? Black Christian pastors go into those city council meetings full of white people, white politicians, and say, we need to do something about this crime in Chicago. we need to do something about this crime on Prospect. We have to do something about the crime in Kansas City. We got to do something about all this crime in St. Louis. When you are the answer to the crime in Kansas City, Uncle Tom, you are the answer. Your church have stolen all of this money from black people. You can't give it back to help them so they don't go to prison. Like, you Christians are responsible for sending 2.5 million black and Hispanic men to the penitentiary. You're responsible.
That's right.
Because instead of